Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and today we're going to do a cozy yoga flow. So this is a great practice to do at the end of a long day or when you just feel like you need a little extra love, a little extra nourishment. So put on some comfy clothes. Let's grab maybe a blanket or a pillow and we'll get started on our mat in Shavasana. So you'll lie all the way down on your mat to start. I like to lay on a blanket. I like to put a blanket under my head. But you can choose to have your head flat on the floor. From here, you can just take your feet out towards the corners of your mat. Allow your hands to rest down by your hips. Palms will face up towards the ceiling. And just start to notice here your breath. Notice each inhale. Notice each exhale. And notice how they flow effortlessly into one another. Allow the exhale to flow right back into the inhale as well. Notice if your breath is smooth or shaky, if it's quiet or loud. Notice if it feels shallow or deep. Notice without judgment. Allow your whole body to just relax here for a few more breaths. And notice the parts of your body that are connected to the floor. Notice the parts of your body that are disconnected from the floor as well. And on your next inhale, let's reach the arms up over your head. Stretch your toes in the opposite direction and perhaps grab for opposite elbows. That feels okay on your shoulders. So there's a slight arch in the back, allowing the rib cage to rise towards the ceiling. Taking some really deep breaths as you point your toes. And then take your right ankle and cross it on top of your left and start to lean your upper body towards the left side. You can extend your arms and maybe reach for the right wrist. Pull on that wrist as you stretch through the right toes. Breathe through the right side of your body. And then come back through center, uncross your ankles, recross. Left ankle will go on top of right. And start to take your upper body a little bit to the right as you pull on your left wrist now. Point your left toes. And just breathe deeply through the left side of your body. On your inhale, come back through center. Uncross your ankles, reach your fingers. You can interlace the fingers and then flip the palms so the palms are facing away from your head and reach through the palms and through the toes at the same time. Take like 3 deep breaths here. You can exaggerate the arch in the back as well. And then release. On your next exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Hug your knees in, wrap your arms around your shins. Perhaps just rock a little side to side. Good. And then maybe take that into a happy baby. So you can grab the outsides or the insides of the feet. Got my cozy alpaca socks on today. Just draw your knees in and down towards the ground, perhaps inviting a little bit of a sway. Maybe even bending one knee deeply as you extend the other leg. Just feel free to play for a few breaths here in this Ananda Balasana. Good, and then we'll release the feet back to the floor. You're gonna hug your right knee into your chest and grab behind the thigh. You can even grab behind the calf if you have a little more flexibility. Start to straighten the leg a bit and just kind of draw the foot towards the chest here. So you're stretching out all through the back of the leg. You can play around with pointing and flexing your foot. So maybe for a few breaths you flex it. You'll feel maybe a little more in the calf. And then try pointing. You might then feel a little more in the front side of the leg. Perhaps you want to extend your left leg long as well. That's a great idea, if that's available to you. And then rebend the left knee. Let's cross that right ankle over your left thigh. And you'll lift your left foot up, interlace the fingers behind the left leg, and start to draw the knee in towards the chest. I like to take my right elbow and bend that right elbow a bit so that I'm pressing my right knee away with the elbow as I'm drawing my left knee in with my hands. Good. And then you'll release that. Release your right leg to the floor and switch sides. Let's lift the left leg up, grab behind the thigh or grab behind the calf. Just start to breathe into the back of the leg. This one's feeling particularly tight for me today. So if you start to feel that, maybe, one side's always different than the other side. Just work with what your body's allowing you to do today. Don't push past it. Option to extend that right leg long. Make sure you're still breathing deeply. And then you'll cross that left ankle on top of right thigh now. Lift that right foot up, maybe interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. And again, you can take your left elbow out to the side. So you gently press the left knee away as you draw the right knee in with the hands. This will just intensify the sensation in the hips. Good, and then we'll release that. From here, you're gonna hug both knees into your chest, grab behind both of your thighs, rock yourself up. Maybe rock a few times, this always feels good for me. Rock a few times forward and back along the spine. And we'll come on up. From here, you're gonna come onto all fours. So you're in tabletop position, hands are under shoulders, knees are right into those hips. As you inhale, let's arch your back. And as you exhale, let's round the spine. So you feel an expansion in the upper back as you round. You feel expansion in the front side, the collarbone, as you arch. Do a few more. And then come to a neutral spine. We'll take the right arm up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, thread the needle. Right cheek comes to the mat. So from here, maybe take your left hand behind your back. Reach for the inside of the right thigh. Pull that left shoulder right on top of the right. And then release. Let's take the left hand down. Press into the left hand. Right arm reaches up. And release. Right hand back to the mat. We'll switch. Left arm reaches up. And exhale, thread. Left cheek down to the mat. Again, perhaps taking your right hand behind your back. And just breathing here. And release, right hand presses down, left arm reaches up. And then release, left hand down. We'll take it into puppy pose. So you're gonna reach your arms out forward, start to melt your heart down towards the floor. You can bring your chin to the ground or maybe your forehead. And then coming back up, you'll walk your hands under your shoulders and then take a big step forward with that right foot. All right, just allow your hips to press forward and down. Try to keep your right knee right over the ankle. Once you get into that pose, you always want to find your breath. Smooth it out, deepen it. We'll walk our hands back, extend your right leg straight. And then for a moment, just point your toes. So take a few breaths with your toes pointed, maybe even your whole foot on the floor. And then lift the toes back up, flex the foot. You'll rebend that right knee, left hand will stay down, right hand comes to the thigh, start to open up the foot. Let the knee drop to the right. Maybe gaze over that right shoulder. Good option to stay there or lift your left foot up. Place your right foot back to the ground completely and then draw your left heel in towards your seat. Maybe even dropping right shoulder to right knee. Should feel good on the front of the left thigh, that quadricep. Good, release. To transition, we'll step your right foot back into downward facing dog. And just take a few deep breaths here, press down into the floor. And then eventually step your left foot forward. Let's drop that right knee to the ground. Allow your hips to press forward as you slide your right leg back. From here, we'll walk our hands back, extend your left leg. And then again, try pointing your toes for a few breaths. If you can't easily take your hands to the floor, that's perfectly fine. Just take like blocks or books or whatever you can under your hands. And then flex your left foot, toes pull back towards the face again. Rebend that left knee and you'll keep your right hand to the floor. Left hand goes to the thigh and start to allow your left foot to open up to the side. Maybe turning your gaze slightly over your left shoulder. Then come back through center. And then we'll step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Oh, I forgot. I knew I was forgetting something. You're going to step it forward again. Right heel option to come to your seat. Or you can stay right where you're at. Good, release. And then let's step it back. Downward facing dog. Find your breath. From here, just walk your feet forward towards your hands. Allow your upper body to hang down. I'm having my feet about mat distance because I want this to be super cozy for my body. A little bend in the knees is good. Allow the upper body to just kind of rest on top of the lower body. I even allow the ribs to kind of rest into the thighs. Good, and then we're going to start to come down into a squat. So just bend your knees. You can even take your toes out to the side. Try to squat all the way down, perhaps reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Release your hands back to the floor. Again, turn your heels slightly out. Upper body hangs over lower body. And then take a big step back to downward facing dog. Paddle out the feet. Perhaps shift weight from one heel to the next. And then you're going to keep your right heel lifted high. Lower your left heel towards the floor. And switch, right heel lowers down, left heel lifts up. Press into the ground. And then both heels lift up high. Bend your knees slightly. Take your ribs towards your thighs. Drop your head completely. Let that feel good. Lower your knees to the ground. Press your seat back to your heels. Rest in Balasana, child's pose. Feel free to come down into Shavasana or into a seated meditation. I hope this practice was super cozy for you. It was really cozy for me, and I really enjoy making these videos for you. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and tell all your friends. I hope to see you back soon. Happy holidays, my friends. Namaste.